Hey, what's going on there, football fans? Thank you guys for hanging out with us here on another episode of Between the Posts. We've got a special edition coming at you guys on Tuesday. We know Champions League is right around the corner in the next hour or so we'll try and make this quick as we all look forward to catching Champions League action this week. Matt, what's going on, man?
Man, it's just a full slate today of UCL, full slate tomorrow, Europa League. I mean, it's a great soccer week. No international break. What for the next 3 months?
Yeah, love
I mean, this is when we start clicking, Jason. This is when the units start to add up, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is. And obviously, we weren't with you guys last week. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Ready to jump on into Premier League Match Week number 14. As Matt said, we're into the business part of the season. It's starting to heat up right here. So let's just jump on into it, Matt. The first game on Saturday is Arsenal and Wolves. Got burned a little bit yesterday on Fulham Wolves. Little disgusted with myself. Both teams to score has hit an 11 straight games now for Wolves. Perhaps maybe that's going to be one of our parlay pieces. We'll find out here at the end of the show for our Between the Post parlay. But, Matt, it feels like while Arsenal's been tough, it feels like maybe Wolves have enough quality going forward. Maybe they can continue the streak of both teams to score, even though Arsenal certainly got more of the quality to pick up the 3 points.
Yeah, I think that is a nice trend, but this is a different type of opposition here. I mean, this is Arsenal best defense probably in the league right now, one of top three for sure.
Yeah, number one, yeah.
Yeah, and so you look at last year's home and away, Arsenal 1-0 both times.
Yeah.
Then you kind of look through the oppositions that this trend has gone on with. I mean, Fulham kind of seems like Fulham, overs seem like they're kind of back in play, Jason.
Yeah.
Spurs, they scored 2 against Spurs. That was a big day for us. Tottenham's defense right now is beat up, injured. Sheffield, scored 2 against Newcastle is impressive. I mean, they did score. Yeah, they did score against City and beat City. This is and then you look at the line too, Jason. I mean, they've got it as a dog price, plus 110 for this trend to continue.
Well, that just speaks to Arsenal. They do have the best defense in the league. Their XG allowed is 0.83, and nobody's better than Arsenal. Their defense is best.
I know. Yeah, it's best. And, I kind of look at this game like – I like the under a little bit, but I don't think that I'll be touching this really. I think that the trend kind of just does enough to keep me off of this and just completely pass the game, because I see this as more of low scoring. Arsenal, their offense really hasn't been clicking. They're not scoring goals for fun at the moment. So yeah, this is a tough match. I think it's a pretty easy pass for me.
Pretty easy pass. You're not even feeling confident that Arsenal can squeak out the 3 points. I feel like I'm confident that they can at least, squeak out the 3 points. I know the money line is juicy at 350 or whatever it is, but I do feel like they're the better team. For whatever reason, Wolves is one of these teams that just is victimized by VAR, and it was again yesterday on that second goal against Fulham.
Yeah,
I like Arsenal.
I think that Arsenal win the game. I do. Yeah, I think that Arsenal win. I do. I mean, I think that this is them at the Emirates. They're top of the table. I think that they continue that and they win it. So I would have no quarrels with anybody going money line in a parlay.
I'm wondering what the money line under 4.5 is, because you don't blow Wolves out. Jose Sa looked a little shaky yesterday, but that happens with these goalkeepers. Sometimes they have those games. I'm wondering what the money line is with the under 4.5, because that could possibly get me in. I do think Arsenal also probably does hit their team total of over 1.5 as well, even if it may come late, but I bet they get it. That is minus 178 for the under 4.5 parlay with the money line. So
yeah, I think that's decent. That is decent.
Have we ever had a 3-legged between the post parlay?
We haven't.
We haven't. Maybe this is the week. Maybe. Yeah. All right. Arsenal 3 points. See that happening. Interesting to see if Wolves can continue the trend of both teams to score. Again, this is the best defense in the league. So that's where That's where you just don't have to force a bet, and sometimes it's okay passing, right? You do get this trend of 11 straight both teams to score, but this week it's pinned up against the best defense, so maybe you lay off of it and go right back to the well next week.
Yeah,
That's probably where I'm at.
Arsenal and under 3.5. That's that from a singles perspective. I mean, that would be my best look here after just talking it out with you a little bit. You can find that at minus 105.
They did get 5-0, but boy, they were, what month was this in? This was May 28th, so this would have probably been the last match day they played Wolves.
Yeah.
The season was over at
So
that point. City had already been handed the crown, so it was kind of a meaningless game. So
exactly. And then you look through all the other ones
and it's
and
hitting
all these
2-0, 2-1, 1-0. It's hitting.
yeah, all of them Arsenal and under 3.5. You have to go back to when Wolves beat them 3-1
Mm-hmm.
in 2019. So yeah, these are all. Yeah, I kind of see like it comes from like a no bet. Maybe that could be a play, but that's something that I would wait on.
Yeah, wait and see what Arsenal does. Make sure they come out fit after I think they have PSV or Lens, whoever they've got. Make sure they come out of that game fit and ready to go.
Yep.
All right, let's move it over to. Seems like we've kind of got the same thought on this game with Brentford taking on Luton. Got a good cash in that last game against Luton. Matt, I don't know if you were aware, but 70 going into the game against Crystal Palace, so now this number has changed. I need to relook it up. 73% of the goals conceded and scored have come in the second half of Luton games. So they're playing you tight in the first half, and then it's getting goal happy in the second half, whether they're scoring or conceded. I'm not sure about that trend in terms of this game, but just throwing that out there. What I'm going to go back to is probably the Luton fade because they've got the worst XG allowed on the road. It's 1.98. Nobody's worse than Luton. Again, they're going to be on the road here at Brentford. We love their attack, always at home. I like Brentford here on the money line and parlaying it with an under.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Brentford and under 4.5 minus 140. I think that it's kind of just to go back to the Luton fade on the road, like you touched on. I think that Brentford were pretty good too against Arsenal. Um, I think that Brentford is just a very strong team with Mbuemo up top. I think that they'll get back on the right track here. I think this is the perfect get right spot for Brentford. It's just how do you want to play it? Do you want to go over 1.5 or under 4.5 kind of thing?
I'd rather take an under with Luton. They've been solid defensively, and that's what they were known for when they came up from the championship is getting by with low-scoring affairs in the championship. I like their defense.
Yeah,
I'd rather do the under. I'd rather do the under route.
when they drew with Liverpool. I mean, I thought that their defense was incredible, and I then that next match day, I told you I liked under in the United Luton game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a 1-0. I mean, through and through, that was an under game. So, I think under Brentford and under 3.5 or Brentford and under 4.5 is the only way for me to go here.
And I'm not willing to tack on to both teams to score or any consideration there, even though Luton gets the win against Crystal Palace, because to go along with having the worst XG on the road, they've got the second worst XG created on the road. So they're just an abysmal away team. This is the perfect spot. Luton on the road, like it's a great team that we like at home. Brentford on the money line, parlay with under 4.5, minus 135. Sign me up. It's the only way to get into that game. Burnley and Sheffield. This is going to go right back to my classic two relegation teams. I've dabbled it in the Premier League, dabbled it in the Bundesliga. Taking over 2.5 in these fixtures this season has been treating me really well. I see another over 2.5 hitting. It's minus 105 over on DraftKings. Both of these teams are contributing, and a point doesn't do either of these two teams any damn good. Got to get to 3 points. So it's at over 2.5, and it's minus 105 at DraftKings. Sign me up.
Yeah, and these they've been coming in. Sheffield starting to they're at least scoring too.
Yeah.
Their last three matches that they've gotten on the score sheet, 4 of 5 they've gotten on the score sheet. And then you look at, these two teams played last season, the championship, a 5-2. So I like your look. I think that that's been really strong for you. this entire campaign. So it's like, why not go back to it? And we know
Yeah.
that Burnley's kind of been the perfect MO for that too. Like it's just you've been cashing those Burnley's the Burnley overs in these games. So um, not a ton more for me to really touch on this game. I still haven't gotten a really good look at these teams, but the only way for me to go here would be probably to tail that.
I know people will bring in the comment section that it's more the opponent, but Sheffield has 13 games, cashed the over in 10 of 13. Burnley also at 13 and has cashed the over in 9 of 13. And what you're encouraged by is what you kind of mentioned on these teams starting to contribute to the overs as opposed to just getting rolled earlier in the season. Newly promoted teams getting established in the Premier League. Now they've got their footing and they're starting to contribute to the overs. This is a slam dunk for me. Over 2.5, minus 105. Sign me up.
It really is. I mean, and then you look at from a trend perspective too. Like you don't want to go near a side. I'm honestly shocked that Burnley are minus money here
Oh,
because you
really? I
look
didn't
at
even
it, they've
see that. Wow.
seven consecutive home defeats. I mean, if you were going to bet this on a side, you would definitely be on double chance Sheffield. They've lost 7 in a row at home, 1 of 13 in the Prem. Their last 13 in the Premier League, Burnley have conceded at least one. They've allowed 2+ goals in their last 7 in all comps. And then on the flip side, Sheffield, 1 win in 14. They've conceded at least one goal in their last 13 matches. So, yeah, this shakes up for both teams to score in an over 2.5 play.
I wouldn't add on the both teams to score though. I think it's going to hit, but at minus 105, just stay with the minus 105 price. I'll tell you,
Great.
you mentioned the double chance. You can take on the double chance either team to win. The last 5 head-to-heads have seen somebody win this game. There's not been a draw. A draw just does nobody any good in this fixture in terms of looking at the table and needing points, where you're going to get points. You give it a go, and that's why over 2.5, whether it's in this league or in the Bundesliga, has just been treating me really good. So I'm going back to it. Minus 105 overall DraftKings. Next matchup here is Forest taking on Everton. Everton obviously setback last week. We've talked about them. Obviously, a 10-point production. We haven't talked about that as that happened over Thanksgiving. That was, man, it makes you interested to see what's going to happen to City, but that's a whole other conversation. Gonna back Forest in this spot. It's at home, but only gonna back them in terms of a goals perspective. Everton to me has still been tough. Their XG numbers, even though they don't get anything against Man United. I watched that entire game. I think Man United was lucky to be let off the hook right there. I thought Everton certainly created enough chances in the first half, had good enough looks in the first half. They just didn't walk away with a goal. We know that happens, but that just speaks to the XG numbers that we continue to speak about. Everton is number 5th in the league, 5th best in the league at 1.79. They're creating chances. Those will fall. Didn't happen against United. Expect them to happen against a lesser team and a lesser goalkeeper here at Forest. I like the over 2.5 in this game too, Matt.
I like it. I think that this is a bet that's probably going to get placed right after we hop off the show. Plus money. Um, you spoke on the XG. We know that Forest generally like to kind of open up at home too. And yeah, I thought that the Everton the 3-0 loss was not a reflection of how the game went
Right.
by any means. I watched the entirety of it, like I'm sure you did too, and you have this very similar feelings on that. Um,
Yeah, they were
yeah,
looking.
I don't see any reason why not. I mean, look at these two teams. Like both their last 2 matches in the Prem. I mean, 10 goals in the Forest last 2, and 8 goals in Everton's last 2. Um, why is this over 2.5 at plus money? I really don't. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't. I agree.
I think that this one will move. I think that this one will be like a flat minus 110 on both sides by the time it kicks off. But this isn't correct to me.
The Yeah, that game against United should have been 1-1 for sure, and Everton maybe even wins 2-1 at halftime. I mean, that's how good their chances were in the first half. Like I said, it just doesn't quite happen. It'd be like that sometimes in soccer.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Forest last 9 at home, they've scored. I mean, I think that I can count on Everton at least bagging one if they play like that again. So, um,
Backs up against the wall with the 10-point deduction. They got to go. They ain't no doubt about it. They got to go now.
Totally agree. I think, yeah, I mean, this both teams to score -135. I almost want to just, I know that the over 2.5 is plus money, but I might just add in the both teams score too to make it a little bit more plus money.
I mean, you got a Forest team that's hit it in 4 of their last 5. They've gone over 2.5. Everton's coming along in their last 2 for an over 2.5. I did use the Odds Trader app. Not that I'm endorsing Odds Trader, just letting people know it's a great app. Best price is at DraftKings plus 105. Plus 105 for an over 2.5 for that game, if you're interested. Let's keep it all moving, Matt. Let's go to Newcastle and Man United, where I had to throw on the jersey today. Obviously, I'm a fan, but there's no hotter team in the Premier League in the last 6. We've got 5 wins and 1 loss, and nobody's picked up more points in the last 6 games than Manchester United. So we're coming in hot. It's time I start paying attention to that. Obviously, I watch all the games, but yeah, it's when they go into Europe or Cup games. Those games are both teams to score and over 2.5. But in the league, we knew. Here's the thing with United: they were getting wins. Your Burnleys, your Fulhams, your Sheffields, but the performances were all awful. Everton finally was the encouragement of that was a much better performance, much better in the second half. It started to match the results the performance did. I like a both team to score in over 2.5 because you're getting Newcastle at St. James Park, where you absolutely love them at St. James Park. So you know they're scoring. United's the best team in the league over the last 6. I know they're scoring, and somebody's getting it. This will not be the same game that happened in the EFL Cup when Newcastle came to Old Trafford and won 3-0. Remember, United was down after losing 3-0 to City. All the managerial talk. They've lifted it. 5 of the last 6 wins. I love this. You get it at plus money over on BetMGM, the both teams to score in over 2.5. I'm not interested in trying to predict the winner because Newcastle's too damn good at home and United's the hottest team in the league. I just want goals.
Yeah, God, that hottest team in the league stuff right now.
It's okay to say that, Matt. It's okay to say
I
United's
mean,
the hottest team
okay,
in the league.
so they get kind of outplayed by Everton. They beat Luton. They beat Fulham.
But awful performances. Look at the second half against Everton. Like a good performance against Everton. A good one.
Yeah.
And if they can get and now all their attackers scored. Remember we showed that graphic a couple match days where the only one that scored is Rashford. Rashford takes the pen. Garnacho obviously with the absolute wonder kick, and then Martial, their starting number 9, scored.
Yeah, I think okay. So Newcastle goes today. They're traveling to Paris. And United goes tomorrow, and they're going to Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there is definitely a slight edge, and both teams. Let's face it, both teams need this. This Champions League performance here.
Oh, for sure, it's a tight group for the Newcastle, and obviously United has to win.
Is pretty much Newcastle's last chance. It's like they got to scrap away a point, or they're out of the competition today, and United are in a similar kind of area. I mean, they've got to go to Turkey and they've got to win, because then they've got Munich on the last one at home, I believe. So I kind of like Newcastle in this matchup because I think that they're so strong at home. I think that some of these United results have been a little bit deceiving, but I also think that your both teams scoring over 2.5 look is good too. This one will be a complete lineup checker for me, but most likely, if you can, what's that website, Jason? Where's the best price on Newcastle right now? Is there a plus 100?
Let's see. It's just good old money line. -106. Bet Rivers is best price.
Okay.
So I mean, and not saying you like it. I mean, all the numbers like it too. You just like Newcastle at home. I mean, that is where they thrive. It's a rocking ground.
Purely, I like Newcastle at home, and that's it. I mean, look at what they did to Chelsea at the weekend. I mean, look at they beat Arsenal at home. They beat United at Old Trafford in the EFL Cup. United had a somewhat strengthy lineup. Newcastle brought their reserves out and dusted them. Like I think that Newcastle win the match. Harsh.
Dusted them. I believe dusted them. Yeah, it was. I was on Newcastle draw no bet, so I don't really give a shit. I was on that guy plus 150.
Yeah, you were on that one. I think that Newcastle win this match. I really do.
Um, okay, but do you see both teams like you're not hating on? Not saying you're hating on my bet, regardless. But I mean, you see United
No.
scoring, right? The best team in the league. Of course, they're scoring a goal. So you got to like the plus money. Why don't you come on for the plus money if both teams scored over 2.5 and ditch that minus money?
Well, here's the one thing is this is I think the key is
I
what are
think
the in
this fixture though has been unders like crazy. I've been cashing unders in this one. Obviously, I didn't do the under last time. I did draw no bet in the cup game, but the unders have been great in this fixture.
I think that I think the injury report is pretty crucial here. I mean, I know so Isak is back.
Back.
I'm not going to bet this. I like this is one of those two. Like we're doing the show early this week. Um, I wouldn't bet this regardless until after the both teams kind of play in the UCL. Um, See how Newcastle. I'm going to watch the entirety of the Newcastle match today. I'll probably watch the entirety of the United match tomorrow too because I mean it's such a big game. Um, the Newcastle injury list is extensive, and so that is one cause for concern for sure.
Okay. All right. What do I get the next game here written down? Oh, Bournemouth and Villa. Bournemouth and Villa. God, I just wish Villa would get out of the Europa League because they could be a smash spot every week in the Premier League, and definitely against Bournemouth, they could be a smash spot. I'm getting even money at the money line. I'm getting even money, Villa money line, and I can't come off it. I can't see. I don't give a shit that they play Thursday, and I don't care if they're traveling on Thursday, or I don't really care where they're playing. They're so much better in Bournemouth, so much better everywhere. Why? I'm on Villa money line, and like how many units am I putting on Villa money line? Maybe it's just the Thursday night, so it'll just be a one-unit play. But Bournemouth is not hanging with Villa. I mean, this is a team that's fourth place. Unai Emery, remember last season, you kept following them up the charts. They just ran out of time. Like, if there's like 3 more games, they probably cracked the damn top 4 last year. Well, they're in the top 4 right now, sitting in 4th place, have a 2-point gap over Tottenham in 5th place. They're a phenomenal team, and Bournemouth is going to be struggling, for relegation all season long. I don't care about Thursday night. It's money line, even money. Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So they play at home against Legia Warsaw,
Okay,
who is
great.
top. They're both. I mean, so I was hoping that Aston Villa kind of had the group just wrapped up, so they could maybe rotate. They still might rotate. They're through. They're not full. They're not completely cleared yet, but they're most likely through. Both teams are on 9 points, so you could say that this is Villa's chance to kind of top that group. If they win it, they likely top it. But yeah, I think that one will be an interesting maybe lineup checker on Thursday. That could be a play. Villa to beat Legia. Kind of want to pull up the odds on that right now, but because if you get a good strong Aston Villa lineup, I would expect them to take care of business. Maybe they're going to be around minus 200, something like that. But you could maybe find a way to combine that and get a good play. Um, Bournemouth, I mean, that was impressive at the weekend, putting up 3. I know it was against Sheffield, but then they beat Newcastle before the international break. That was strong.
That was strong.
Um,
I was
Tough.
holding on to it. Yeah.
I like goals. I like goals in this matchup because I always seem to like goals in Aston Villa games. Um, Bournemouth have been contributing, and we've got what? What do we have here? Gosh, it's over 3.5. Holy smokes!
Yeah, Bournemouth in
I
their
think
13 games, they've also got 10 cashes on the over 2.5, averaging 3.8 goals. I mean, one of the better teams. Bournemouth has got 9 out of 14 or 9 out of 13 cashes. So it all makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think that the over makes a ton of sense here. You could do over 3, a flat 3, minus 130 right now in DraftKings. Maybe there's a better price out there. Probably is. Maybe a minus 120 on an over 3. I kind of like that.
You like goals more than trying to predict the side then. Like goals
I
more.
do in this one. Yeah, I would almost like in this one. I would probably go with more your. I would go with your route with Aston Villa team total over the money line.
Mm. Wonder what that is. Villa
Um,
money line. Or I mean Villa team total.
Villa
Say
team total minus 150. So yeah, it's definitely a big price difference on that from the
Mm.
plus 100 money line.
Yeah, for 2 goals.
Villa, I have to say, I mean
Villa's
they
not losing, man.
so Villa was probably it was my biggest bet of the season at the weekend. I did tweet it out surprisingly,
Yeah,
and it was a big play. It was a complete lineup checker. You looked at the two teams, and you looked at the line too. I mean, Villa clearly had the better 11, but they were. I mean, Villa was a little bit shakier than what I was even hoping, but they did calm down in the second half. The goal right before halftime was the reason that they won that. They were able to calm back down. They made some changes. I mean, they've got, if you want to talk about a team that can bring players on, I mean, they brought on Tielemans. They brought on the dude from Jamaica, the right winger that's good. The heck is that guy's name? Not they pulled out Diaby and then they subbed in what's his face from Jamaica, he's
well,
a
they have
very good wing.
Bailey that comes in.
Bailey, yeah, Leon
Bailey, yeah.
Bailey, and then dude, I mean Ali Watkins. Honestly, a good play in this game is Ali Watkins to score. The
Yeah,
dude is on
he's
fire.
fire.
He's on fire. I think he bags one here. So I would definitely consider Ollie Watkins and like a, if you want to cook up a fun anytime goal scoring parlay, something like that. Like Watkins probably scores here. I mean, the dude when he gets the ball in the box, he doesn't miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I certainly don't disagree with that. Is he leading? He's not leading the race, right? Holland probably is.
Yeah, but I think he might be like second or third. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
he's
might.
on fire.
Yeah, I agree. He's killing it. All right, let's keep it on rolling here. Let's do a little Stamford Bridge, Chelsea Brighton action. Chelsea looking to come off a really shit performance there against Newcastle. A lot of teams kind of look like shit though at St. James Park, so that kind of is what it is. But then Brighton here. I'm going back to not trying to predict a winner and doing more goals with Brighton. Both teams scoring over 2.5. You look at the XG numbers, you look at the hit rate from an over 2.5 perspective. I expect Chelsea to certainly bounce back after that terrible performance. Look, we know Brighton, third best XG in the league. They're going to bring it, even though they play Thursday. I'm not worried about it. De Zerbi's been rotating it too on Thursdays a good bit, so that keeps the legs fresh for the Premier League. I like the both teams scoring over 2.5 here in this one.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. So what do they have here? Where are they traveling to?
Who, Brighton? Oh, seeing where they go on Thursday?
Brighton are traveling to Athens, where they got upset by
Oh, they
that
got ups.
AEK like match day one, and so that'll be a tough little match for them actually in the 12:45 slot, and they need to grab a point on the road. They're pretty solidly. Uh, they're in second place, 1 point behind Marseille. Um, so they should be okay there. I would expect them to maybe grab a point. Um, yeah, I'm here. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up something. Yeah, this is a tough match. I likely won't have a bet on this one. These two teams but you're right. I mean, BTTS, yes, in the last 17 in the Prem, both teams to score in this matchup minus 180. Give me that. Give me that as like a first leg of a two teamer. If I can find another minus like that one and Arsenal and under 4.5, you get that. That comes out to being plus money.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty good way in. Yeah, both teams to score, and yeah, you're probably right with the both teams scoring over 2.5.
Yeah, this should be
Definitely,
good.
definitely don't want to go towards the side. Brighton, haven't won that many matches, recently. They've been kind of struggling a little bit. And Chelsea are still, to me, a little bit untrustworthy.
Yeah. Circling back on your Villa comment, definitely maybe check lineups. That first time they played this team, there were 4 goals in the first half. 2 is plus 136. There's going to be goals. Villa's going to dust it, get it over with, rotate second half. There's going to be goals in that first half. I'm plus money. That's on the card. I just got to find the best price now.
That's for the Thursday matchup.
Yeah, against whoever the hell they're playing.
Yeah,
Warsaw
yeah,
something
yeah.
or other.
That's probably pretty good. I would just wait till lineups, and then boom. If you see what you like, I will probably join you on that.
Yeah, that's a great one. All right, back to the Premier League we go. Back to Anfield, Liverpool and Fulham. I was gonna maybe do this as our parlay piece, but the money line is way too juicy at minus 380 or whatever the hell it is. But they're a better team over Fulham. You're getting back to what we talked about, kind of at times with Liverpool is when they're healthy, they're just rotating or subbing, and they bring on just so much more quality players, and their attack is not even missing a beat. So Fulham, or I mean Liverpool on and over, Liverpool halftime, full time. Don't care that they also play Thursday. I'm sure you already know where they're playing and how that group looks right now off the top of your head, but I don't really care. I mean, there's just so much better in Fulham, and this one's at home too, so I'm not worried.
Yeah, that's one that I don't have to look up. They've got home to Lask. They so they at least they're not traveling. That's a check. Um, they're going to rotate heavily. That's another check then for this game that we're talking about in terms of the Premier League, and they've got their group kind of wrapped up. So it's all good on that front, and it's really hard to find a way into this one. There's really only two options that I see, and it's either you Liverpool money line and both teams to score, where you think that Fulham's offense can continue to do decent things, or probably the better route would be Liverpool win to nil. And so it's you've got to find whichever one you like more. I'm trying, I thought that I thought Fulham's attack was decent, but again, that was against Wolves. This is going to be against Van Dijk, and I thought Liverpool's defense looked really good last week against City. Uh, Maybe no Allison in this one, but Kelleher is fine. Um, yeah, really, really no play on this. I mean,
It's tough.
you
The
could
odds are tough.
you could always maybe try to go back to like a Mo Salah.
Oh, there
You
you go.
know,
You've
I
been
mean
banging
that
that like 3 weeks in a row. I think you've given that
when,
out on the show, and it's
he,
come. You
he
got
did
lucky
it
that
again.
one week. Yeah, he did it again.
Yeah, he did it again last week. Mo Salah anytime goal scorer in this one -120. Um,
That's hitting.
they've got both teams to score here. Is the it's shaded to the both teams to score? Yes. So um, I kind of agree. I kind of think that Fulham will score a little bit, but it looks like they don't have the two score or two assist up yet. Yeah, they don't have that available yet. But I'm assuming that's going to be. I would put that in a parlay. I put -170 Mo Salah to score or assist into something. I mean, he is the one to count on with the
He's the
squad.
guy.
I
The
mean,
guy.
he's unbelievable, dude. I think he's the best player in the league. So
Yeah, until De Bruyne comes back.
until De Bruyne comes back, I agree. De Bruyne is the
So,
best
he's the
when
best
he's
player.
fit. But yeah, it's a tough match to kind of get involved in. I mean, the line's
Yeah,
so high.
yeah, that's
Um,
what. Yep.
Likely goals. I mean, I would be only on an over.
Yeah.
Only way. I mean, over 3.5 is plus money. That looks decent too.
All right, I've price shopped that. That best price is at FanDuel, by the way. Just earmark it for Thursday. They're at least
Okay.
starting off in the best price position for that Villa bet. All right, I think we got one more game here. No, we got two more games. We got West Ham, Crystal Palace. We'll throw off the same stat again because in Luton versus Crystal Palace, we cashed more goals to be scored in the second half. We mentioned Luton had 73% of their goals or conceded in the second half. Crystal Palace is the exact same. That's why I made that bet because you had two teams at over 70%. So Crystal Palace comes into this game. Now you had three more goals. I'd have to redo the math, but going into that game against Luton, 73% of goals, whether it's scored or conceded, have been in the second half. You look at West Ham when they come off Thursday night. 3 of their 4 games coming off Thursday night. Second half has had more goals being scored. This one will be slow, dreadful in the first half, and the second half is going to have more goals scored. I'm going right back to it at plus 118 over on FanDuel.
More goals scored in the second half, plus 118.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Going right back to it.
I totally am in agreement with you. You look at the head-to-heads. This one is one that we've cashed before based on the head-to-heads. Look at this. 4-3, 2-1, 3-2, 2-2, 3-2. Still 1-1, 2. I mean, this is one of those. I always remember. You have to go back to 2017 before there was a clean sheet in this head-to-head.
Yeah, it's going to be goals. Just going to start off slow like West Ham does coming off Thursday night. Their games are starting off slow.
I think that you might have the better look on this one instead of just going with the head-to-head trend and both teams scoring over 2.5. I think that you might have a real look here on just a second half over. So I'll wait to in this one, but yeah, I think
the over 2.5 is minus 113.
I know.
Both teams will score. Shit.
I know. There's a lot of good. I like some goals. I like goals this week for sure. Mm-hmm. Goals in these games looked really strong across the board. I mean, the only one that we don't like it really is Wolves Arsenal, and I mean Wolves have that crazy trend.
Right.
Brentford Luton, we don't love it, but we love it. And Burnley Sheffield, Forest Everton, Newcastle United. I mean, there's something here. Bournemouth Villa, Chelsea Brighton, Liverpool Fulham. There's goals on this card for sure.
Yeah, I'm liking it. And then again, this, like you said, this is when we hit our stride, when there's no breaks and you can just predict this stuff. All right. But I think you're right. Or you just do it over 2.5 at minus 113, then you don't give a shit what half the goals come in. But if you look at what West Ham coming off Thursday, you've got that Palace stat 73. All 3 goals in that game came in the second half, so that percentage is now probably up to upper 70s now.
Well, let's take a look here real quick and see what West Ham have got. West Ham.
In terms of
West
Thursday
Ham
night
on the road.
West Ham even more, it's going to be dreadful in the first half. They're going to come back tired, jet lagged. This shit's going so under in the first half. This could come right back to, Matt, and I even did it against Luton, a 0-0 halftime. Remember how we keep talking about how that hits in Crystal Palace games? The 0-0 at halftime hit again against Luton. I played it plus 175. Hell, I made double dip. I did double dip last week on the card. I only gave out the half with most goals, but you're telling me they're traveling from where?
So they're going to Serbia. They're playing the worst team in Serbia. They're top of the table. They're tied with Freiburg. So yes, they do want to stay top, but I still think that they prioritize league and they rotate pretty heavily. Mm-hmm. They're going to rotate heavy. I don't think you'll see I would be surprised to see Bowen won't start in this one.
No, hold on. Bowen and Antonio were both hurt. Whoever they played this weekend, it was against Burnley. Mm-hmm. They weren't even in the squad. They were both hurt. I don't know if that's going to change, obviously, before this game, but they were hurt.
So Antonio's going to be out. He's out for a couple weeks. Bowen, I hope, is not too bad, but he just wasn't ready to play, and we couldn't get him ready for the game. So Bowen will not travel then probably to Serbia, and I think that he'll suit up against Palace.
I mean,
I mean, that's interesting.
I'd like that over 2.5 at minus 113. I mean, you mentioned, how many of that in a row? Jesus.
It's a ridiculous clip. I mean, it's...
And they're flying over 4-3, 3-2, 2-2, 2-3.
The last five have all cashed over 2.5. And then when you look at 8 of 10, 9 of 12. I mean, it's a really nice clip, but I will say I need Bowen in there to click that button.
The only thing that's concerning is not surprising because, again, we've cashed the 0-0 in Crystal Palace halftime, mentioned the stat. West Ham has 13 games, cashed the over in 10. Palace is about 50-50. They only cashed the over in 6 of 13. We've kind of talked about their games are low scoring. But four of their last 5 have all gone over. So while it may be 50-50, it's trending in more towards an over direction.
I like West. Like I wouldn't hate on like a West Ham team total, but we do know Palace. Yeah, I mean this one's a little bit weird. I kind of it makes me like your second half look a little bit more.
All right, let's get these bets up here on the screen. Let me get these up here.
Wait.
Actually,
We still have City Spurs.
oh, City Spurs. Okay, City. Well, I just assumed City money line. What else is there to talk about? City money
Yeah, I
line.
know. I mean, this is one, but I think that Tottenham can score because they care. I mean, Ange Postecoglou. I mean, he just doesn't care, which I kind of respect, and I think it's great for bettors. I mean, I think that you could get in here with a city and both teams to score. I think that this is a 3-1. I think this is a 3-1, 4-1 City.
And Madison was long-term injury, right? Like he was out till the new year, if I recall, wasn't he?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no
But they
Madison.
still just like it's like yeah, they don't have the personnel that makes you. I mean, Son is the most clinical player in the Premier League,
He had a
but
hat trick disallowed over the weekend against Villa. He had a hat
I
trick.
know
You
that's
got lucky to
crazy.
get that bet.
I know. I kind of thought so too. I thought it ended up kind of being a little bit fortunate, but I think that in the end, Villa was the better side. But I mean, even though they don't have the personnel, like they're not going to have a great midfield here. What's his face? You know, I'll tell you one. A key absentee for Spurs is, and I haven't heard anything past the Rodrigo Bentancur.
Mm.
His ankle wasn't great. He started the game so well. That's another injury. There's no update on him. He probably doesn't play. I mean, Spurs are really in trouble here. So yeah, you'll see my leg of my 2-team parlay. I mean, I think that City fucking rolled them, but I can still see like Spurs maybe scoring in this. But
Spurs have won 3 of the last 4 head-to-head. They have won
yeah,
3
I
of the
know
last 4 head-to-head.
Spurs have always given City fits,
More of that
but
is under Pochettino, though, with their counterattacking and punishing them. But
yeah,
um,
yeah, this is gonna be tough.
I don't know if
Spurs
we're gonna be
lose.
able to. I don't know if we're gonna be able to give out a parlay today. I didn't have a leg. Doing it on
And
Tuesday.
we found something that we can cook up.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get your bets up on the screen. There's Matt. That's the only one I think you messaged me. I don't think I got
Yeah,
another one.
yeah. That I mean, you'll know that this is there's going to be a lot of bets for me this week. It's just more. It's still early. We've got kind of these European fixtures and stuff, but yeah,
I'm rolling. All right. Let's see if I can't find a leg. You did City -1, if I recall, right? Was your leg?
yep,
Let
yep.
me see what I got. All right. Let me find out how much juice that is, and then I'll know what I need to find.
You know, like I think
So you're
you
not
could
fully
go.
confident, though. I mean, you were in danger of getting a push and having one juicy ass parlay here. That's
No, yeah,
interesting.
I feel very very confident.
Oh, okay. All right.
Um,
So there's
yeah,
me.
I think a couple options maybe to choose would be like Chelsea, Brighton, both teams to score since it's hitting 17 consecutive Brighton games in the Prem. Um, Something maybe in Forest, Everton, like a both teams to score. I could definitely see that. Could see your Burnley, Sheffield. You know, you could do Brentford on the money line and Luton fade.
Yeah, I just don't want to double dip. I could do Arsenal on the money line and get it at -120 for a parlay.
Let's do that. Let's do that. That's
Arsenal's
always
beating Wolves.
yeah. Arsenal and City -1. That's good. That's strong.
Throw in our first ever 3-teamer and get Liverpool in there at +132. Maybe you could hold on.
I'm fine with that.
Hold on. We could just do all the big boys to win: City, Arsenal, Liverpool +111, and not do a -1. Or do we keep it to a traditional 2-leg parlay and just do City -1 and Arsenal?
No, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. The show kind of started off a little bit with the parlay graphic, so we're gonna go with
The what teamer?
the 3-teamer.
All right, let's throw the graphic up. All right, 3-teamer, boys. I'll throw this one up on the screen. City, Arsenal, just get all the big boys in there to win. It's happening.
Yep.
Bam. There we go. That's the Between the Post parlay of the week. All right, Matt, we've got Shakhtar 2-unit play in action in 8 minutes. So we got to call this show done and over. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on a rare Tuesday. We'll, of course, come back to our normal Thursday slot. We look forward to talking Premier League. And games are just coming every weekend now. No international breaks, as we said. So that's what we got. All right, Matt, enjoy the games. Good luck on Thursday. We'll catch you back with you next week.